Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, Move Over Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cheetos is gunning for you, and goodbye to Taco Tuesday. Also, 1 out of 3 COVID survivors are crazy, and the real meaning behind those 3 dots, the 3 dashes, and then 3 more dots. All this will much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Guess what? Surprise show. We were supposed to be off this week. I say supposed to be off. We took time off, or we didn't schedule this show because, give you a little background of what's going on. We had our whole entire house, the floors, our hardwood floors. We have white oak floors in our house. I know, baller, right? We were having all the floors resanded and repolyurethane and stuff. We had a little bit of a water leak in the house, and it kind of made some of the boards get kind of funky. So insurance company says, can't just patch it. Let's do the whole thing. So they did. We're doing the whole house. So we had to live outside of the house in an RV, which is great. That's fine. We were living in an RV for probably, and right here on the property. And for those of you who don't know, we lived just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And we have 20 some odd acres here: horse, cows, chickens, oh my, dogs, cats, and all the things that go with owning 20 some odd acres. Now, the RV is on in the middle side of the property. And so my wife and I, it's a 36-footer, and we were living in that for a while, but we have access to our bedroom from the back porch. You know, our bedroom is carpet, so they're not doing that part of our house. So we're able to go in there and take showers and, change and, do all the stuff that you do, your necessity stuff, your toiletry stuff. And then we would sleep and cook breakfast in the RV. So they finished up a couple days early, and I said, you know what, babe? And we were worried about the fumes. And like the second day after they completely put the final coat of polyurethane and everything on it, the clear coat, they don't call it polyurethane, they call it a clear coat. And it's supposed to be durable for, however many X many years or whatever. They said, let it cure for a day, let it cure for 2 days before you start walking on it, and then let it cure for a couple more days after that before you start moving like heavy furniture and stuff in. Don't throw area rugs back down. So I think this past Monday would have been 4 days of everything being cured. And I said, you know what, babe? I said, we don't have to move up your office up here to the studio, because that was the plan. You can still work out of the back office area, which is not being done either. And the fumes weren't that bad. It's no different than having your house painted, the inside of the house. It's that fumes. It smells for a little bit. Some people like it. Some people can't. The low VOC. What Volic organic compound or something. I forget what the VOC stands for. But like pregnant women can't be, in a house with all that stuff. So you have to look for low VOC. But the VOC was fine. It was fine. We could breathe. It was fine. The dogs are fine. The cats are fine. The horses are fine. Everything's fine here on the property. So we said, you know what? Let's keep everything as is. Let's move back into the house. So we moved back in the house on Monday. We slept in our own bed on Monday. My wife went back to her desk, her office desk, in the back room there. No problem. No, there was no noise. No, all the stuff that goes with that. So everything's fine. Everything's back to normal. So now we have this 36-foot trailer RV sitting on the backside of our property that we borrowed from a friend. So they're going to come pick it up hopefully on Thursday, meaning tomorrow. So that's it. I mean, we're back in the studio. I thought we were going to have to shut everything down so my wife could work up here, but no, she was able to get back in her office. So there you go. She's back in her office, and I'm here in the studio. So here we are. How are you? Are you doing okay? Are you surviving? Are you getting your coronavirus? Are you getting, not the coronavirus, are you getting your vaccination? Well, let me tell you something that happened to me. I know, it's all about me. So I regularly went to a doctor, physician, whatever you want to call him, every year. I get a physical every year. My wife is like, I don't want you dying on me. You're going to the hospital. You're going to the doctor every year to get your blood work and your normal physical. I said, fine, that's no problem. I don't mind doing that. If it keeps me alive, let's do it. So her father passed away in 2018. I think that's about the time like our lives got kind of turned upside down for a little bit. So we kind of lost sight of going to the doctors and scheduling regular appointments and things that go with your normal health and well-being. So my wife, she went to the doctor, just a normal checkup and stuff because of the medication she's on. And while she's there, I'm like, babe, you know, I haven't been to the doctor in a while. You want to set up an appointment while you're there? Do me a solid? She's like, yeah. So she signs me up just for a normal physical. And so I go down this past Monday. This past Monday, I drive into Charlotte, actually towards Cornelius, Huntersville, just outside of Charlotte. Drive down there to the Advent, I don't know what it's called. They've changed their names a couple times. I can't even pronounce the first one. The medical center down there. Big building, 4 stories. I get down there and I see my normal doctor. Now I don't see the head doctor guy, the main guy who's on the door. I see the nurse practitioner. I don't know. I said this a million times. I don't know what the main difference between the two of them are. But I'm seeing the nurse practitioner. And she's nice. She's a little bit older. She probably got about 10 to 12 years on me. And she looks like she keeps herself well tuned or well intact. She looks healthy. She's I don't want to say she's an attractive woman, but she's not hideous like what's wrong with you? She's a very nice young lady. So she comes in, I'm like, oh, you changed your hair color? And we, chit chat and stuff. She's like, yeah, you put on 13 pounds. I'm like, shut up. She's like, I know. It's the whole coronavirus thing. Everyone's, putting on weight and being sedentary in their sedentary lives. I said, well, it's been about 3 years since I've seen you. So 13 pounds over 3 years is not bad. I fluctuate back and forth. So you just caught me at the top part of my influx. We just come out of winter. And that's what happens when you are your sedentary life in winter in the cold months. So she's like, we're talking back and forth and getting caught up. And she said, what did she say? Oh, there was a couple things that kind of stuck out in my mind. First of all, she said, you don't have to do the finger wave anymore. Now, for those of you who don't know, when a male gets to a certain age, they do the finger swath, I guess is what it's called, where the doctor will go in and press on your gland and, pull their finger back out of your ass. They stick it in your ass and pull it out of your ass. And if you listen to past podcasts many years ago, I talk about the funny situations that I got into. And so she's like, studies have shown and journals have released that if we do your blood work, this number, I'm going to call it the RCTL number, which I just call it that for rectal. If the rectal number is 0.1, and then next year we check it, it's like 0.3. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that increase. But if I test it and it's 0.1, and then next year I come back and it's 2.4, then I'm going to worry about it, and I'll bring you in every 3 months until we can figure out what's the dealio. She's like, I'll stick my finger in your... Not so many words, but she literally said, I'll stick my finger in your ass if you want me to. And I'm like, open up the doors. Here comes the sitcom, all the craziness that goes on. I'm like, no, I'm fine. But I was prepared. I have no problem with it. I know it's all taboo and guys, with being stuck in the butt and stuff. It doesn't bother me. If that's what saves my life, keeps me living and keeps me going, sure, by all means, stick 2 fingers, stick 4 fingers. Whoa there, Shelly. No, stick 4 in there. But I mean, I don't mind doing that. That's what you have to do. Then the next thing out of her mouth, she says, your colonoscopy, according to the Reader's Digest journals of medical science and stuff, they have determined that now that because everyone's living a little bit longer in life, males especially, the average age for a male, I think, is like 78, 79, which is 10 years ago, it was like down to 72. Now the whole coronavirus is going to fluctuate that scale because of people dying at younger ages and stuff. She said the colonoscopy doesn't need to be done until you're 49. And I said, okay, great. She's like, so you still got some time before the colonoscopy needs to be done. And I said, okay, great. So there's 2 things in my favor. I'm like, great. I don't get the finger swipe and I don't have to be knocked out on the table with tubes in my ass. I know. Welcome to Deacon Live, people. These are the things that happen. These are the things that we deal with on a daily basis, or things that will happen to you at some point in your life. So I said, great. So she's checking my blood pressure. She's like, and here's what I don't understand. So they had the regular nurse that comes in, the little helper nurse. Hello, I'm Maria. Hello, Maria. I'm going to take your blood pressure. Okay. So she grabs the cup off the wall and puts it on my arm. And I know she's already messed up. I've been there a million times. She's new. She grabs the small cup and puts it on my arm. And my blood pressure was 150 over 102. I know, right? I said 115. No, it's 150. 150. Like 50. I had to do my hand. 50. And she said yes. She's like, do you have to? Is your bladder full? I go, well, first of all, it's an hour drive to get here, so whether I'm calm and relaxed, just the activity of driving on a highway at 75 miles an hour for 1 hour straight and weaving in and out of traffic and figuring out what exit, because you don't go there but once a year, figuring out what exit to get off and make sure you don't get off the wrong exit, which I did, so I had to circle back around. And now I'm not an aggressive driver. I'm not a road rage driver, but I do drive very defensively. And my wife hates it. That guy ran the stop sign. Why'd you run up on him? I wanted to show him that he ran the stop sign. You gave me a heart attack. So I get there, and then of course, I check in and stuff, and I've had my, black coffee in the morning because I'm doing blood work, so I'm not allowed to have anything outside of like water or black coffee. So an hour, what happens? You gotta pee. So I peed right before I went in. I checked in. I said, do you mind if I use the restroom? No, go ahead. It'll be a minute or two. So I go in, use the restroom, come back out. And they're quick. They're on it. Mr. Deacon, hello, here I am. Oh, there you are. I looked for you a minute ago. I'm like, I just checked in. So she takes my blood pressure, and I did say, I just used the restroom right before you called me. She's like, okay, I'll check it after we're all done. I'm like, all right, cool. There you go, cool. So now I'm sitting there again with my nurse practitioner, and she, after we went through the whole finger swipe and tubes in my ass, she said to me, are you going to get your coronavirus vaccination? I said, well, I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll tell you what I said to her and what she said to me. Now, I don't know what bedside manners, if this was good or bad bedside manners, but I'll tell you what happened when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio, and while you're there, click on the Deacon Live section for every podcast that we do. We have a matching video that goes in tandem with it, and you can see exactly all the stuff, like the stories I'm going to talk about in this episode, and everything that goes on here in the studio. You can see me flailing around with my hands and my things, and my haircut and shaved, and my Gonzamaka shirt that I found in the closet. I'm like, I haven't worn this in a while. It's one of those affliction shirts. I don't know. Fits me good. Fits me tight. It's up 13 pounds, I guess, So I'm sitting in the doctor's office, and she said, my doctor's going over everything, is your medical history still good? Is your mom and dad still good? Anything changed? Your insurance changed? That's weird how they always say, is your insurance still changed? Is it still the same? Has it changed at all? No, everything's fine, or wouldn't have gotten in through the door here. Are you on any other medication? I said, well, I've got you heard my trials and tribulations as far as my back and dry needling and going to the chiropractor and stuff. I said, yeah, my back's kind of bothering me a little bit. And I'm on meloxicam. Maybe once a month I might take that. So one of the things that she asked me, my nurse practitioner, is that she said, am I going to get my COVID vaccination? With everyone getting their COVID vaccination, they lower the age, I think, from like 67. Everyone who's 67, it's like waiting for jury duty. All right, 61, 67 and over, come on up. And then that line goes down. They go, okay, now everyone 61 and up, come on. And then they get down to, the 40s and then the 30s, and then finally your number gets called. I said, well, no. I said, I don't think I'm going to get my vaccination. Now, hold on. Before I get into what her response is, The reason behind I said I'm not going to get my vaccination, I said to her, I'm not going to get my vaccination. In my mind, I'm thinking, not right now. What she heard was, I am pro-Trump. I'm not going to get my vaccination. And this is, coronavirus is false. And everything, everything is, I don't want the government to take over my body type stuff. So when I said the answer to her question, are you going to get your corona vaccination? I said, no. Then she said, are you going to plan on getting it? I said, no, I don't think so. You're sitting on the tissue paper table, and she's sitting on that little stool that she can kind of roll around on. It's the new, I'm hip, I'm the cool teacher. I'll sit in the chair backwards and talk to you kids on your level, that type stuff. So she's sitting on the little stool, the little rolly round stool. She almost jumped up out of that stool, off of that, jump out of a stool. You jump off of a stool, jump out of a chair, jump off of a stool. That stool she had to grab it because she came up so fast, and then sat right back down and reclaimed herself and said, well, why not? I said, well, I don't know. I said, I literally don't come into contact, and you guys know this, I don't come into a contact with a whole lot of people. I said, outside, I'll wear my mask all day long. If I go to Walmart, I'll wear my mask. That protects me. My wife, she literally sees me, her, and her trainer that shows up here on the property, her farrier that shows up here on the property. But they're 6 foot apart. They're not in each other's mouths or throats or anything like that while they're here on the property. They're distance away because they got stuff to do. We don't come in contact with a whole lot of people. And so the people that we do come in contact with, we're protected. We wear the mask. Like everyone says, right? You're supposed to wear the mask. Wear the mask. You'll be protected. Don't spit in each other's mouths type stuff. She said to me, well, it's for the greater good of the community. And then she continued. And she took a little dig at me, and I kind of went, She's like, what if you got it? And you are overweight. I said, in my mind, I'm like, whoa, easy on the weight issue. I got it, 13 pounds. I'll cut back on the Twinkies one day a week. I can get that down. And, you could infect, and then she pulled the cliche card and said, you could be out there killing someone else. You could be out there, you could get it and kill someone else. You could kill grandma. You could kill, whatever. And the whole grandma thing, I said, all right, here we go. All right. Obviously, I'm not getting anywhere. She doesn't understand and made me feel bad. She literally belittled me and made me feel bad that I said at the time, I don't plan on getting it. In my mind, I continued the statement saying anytime soon because I don't know. So that was is that wrong for her to berate me, to say, well, you're going to kill everyone if you don't get this thing? In the same sentence, I told you earlier, I don't mind you sticking your finger up my ass if it helps me live longer because it's been proven. Up till now, they've now figured out that sticking a finger in my ass is a minor preventative. They can now get more preventative measures by doing your blood. So they don't have to do the finger in the ass anymore. So the finger in the ass and the COVID vaccination is kind of like on the same scale. And I don't think she sees that. I don't mind. I'll get it. I'll get it when it comes right down to it. And I right up to the border wall. And they say, in order for you to continue doing things in this country, in this world, in your little world over there in Marshville, you have to get the vaccine. Fine, no problem. Vaccine, I'll get done. But up until then, I don't have a need to. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. For me, it's fine. I'll eat cheese. I'll drink milk. I'll watch my diet and all that stuff. But I don't know. I'm not a political guy. As far as the DeaconLive show, we don't get real political here. It was just a thing that kind of ventured over into my personal beliefs. And I use personal beliefs very, very loosely. It's not a personal belief. I'm scared. I'm flat out, honestly scared. After reading some articles and depending on, what side of the article you want to read. It depends on how you take it. So we'll dive into all that here a little bit more. Now, speaking of diving into it, we're going to take one more little break here. Or actually, we're going to take a break here and dive into the show, and let's get this party started, right? What am I, some kind of 80s DJ? Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contacts. You can see all the different avenues and venues that we are part of, and you can be part of that, and we can be part of you as well. And if you guys want some free swag, kind of scroll around in there. You'll find a little place that has some free swag. Just fill out the information there and send it to us, and we will mail you some free swag. How about that? You want some free swag? And I'm not collecting email addresses. You're not going to get spam mail. Believe me, I promise you. If you get spam mail from me, send it back to me, and I'll kill the guy who actually sent it. Now, one thing that's killing people right now, not literally killing people, there is a shortage in the world. Now, remember we had a whole thing about toilet paper. Everyone was freaking out about toilet paper. We need toilet paper, and toilet paper's getting excuse me. We have to stockpile toilet paper. Now, something else with everyone ordering food out all the time and getting like DoorDash and getting Grubhub, and everyone's getting food delivered to their house, something that's coming up short that the manufacturers can't get a hold of is ketchup and ketchup packets. The little ketchup packets often include, and takeout orders are coming up in short supply these days, in what some people are calling the great ketchup shortage of 2021. I know it sounds ridiculous, but listen to this news article right here. Gives you a little bit more information about it.
Morning, a wildly popular condiment is busy playing catch-up, literally.
I'm gonna bring my own ketchup everywhere I go now. Seriously.
A shortage of ketchup and ketchup packets, as the Wall Street Journal reports, has restaurants and their customers reeling. From burgers to brats, ketchup has always been there for us.
I never knew my hamburgers tasted this good.
But with ongoing supply chain issues and restaurants relying more on takeout and delivery than ever, ketchup demand has grown.
Real tomato ketchup, Eddie? Oh, nothing but the best.
Ketchup packets have been a to-go order favorite for chains and family-owned establishments.
Here, taste it. Anticipation.
Now a national packet shortage has many of us playing a little hindsight.
Ketchup is a nostalgic thing, too. So there's something about a French fry and ketchup that just makes everybody feel good.
In a statement, Heinz says they made manufacturing investments at the start of the pandemic to keep up with the surge in demand for ketchup packets. And for good reason. Kids love it.
I love ketchup with French fries and burgers.
Adults, too.
Well read,
I
Timmy.
almost see ketchup with everything.
Grammy winners and NFL stars can't get enough.
I'm a big ketchup fan. I've always been.
One 2020 survey found more than 300 million Americans use ketchup.
I'm a ketchup aficionado.
So there you go. I mean, ketchup, it's kind of addictive. I mean, a lot of people will argue back and forth, ketchup on a hot dog, no way. Ketchup on your eggs, no way. Ketchup on this, ketchup on that. But there's so much sugar in ketchup. It really is. I actually quit putting, I'll do a little admission here. I do like a good hot dog with ketchup and mustard. Now, I know that one, the hot dog's bad. Two, the bun's bad. Do I need the ketchup on it? I like mustard. I'll throw mustard on there, double mustard without the ketchup, and hopefully that'll help me heal somewhere in my my health issues that I guess I'm having. I don't friggin' know. Now, this gentleman right here had some health issues and ended up dying. Now, we know the whole thing about, Mondays. Everyone hates Mondays. You got Wednesday's hump day. Thursday, a lot of stupid people call it, Friday Eve. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Friday Eve. Because in your mind, you hear Friday, and then you hear Eve, and you're like, God, what the hell is that? Well, everyone knows about Taco Tuesday. A family sues after a man dies during a taco eating contest at a major league park. In Fresno, California, the son of a Fresno, California man who died during an amateur taco eating contest is suing the organizers of the event. Authorities said that 41-year-old Dana Hutchins died after he choked on the tacos during a taco eating contest in August of 2019. One way to be up to date on this. It was held during the Fresno Grizzlies minor league baseball game. People say all the time he knew what he was getting into. Well, he clearly didn't. An 8-page wrongful death lawsuit filed Monday alleges that Fresno Grizzly owner Sports and Events did not possess the competence or the experience to safely carry out an eating competition of this nature and failed to provide medical response teams that could have initiated life-saving procedures. So what happened was they just had like willy-nilly, hey, we'll do a taco eating contest. And then, just, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. No, what if they choke or die? Anyone know the Heimlich? All right, he's good. He's good. Someone knows it. Now, I know from past experience working at radio stations, we used to come up with crazy things to give away, like T-shirt giveaways. Oh, do a keg stand for the longest time. And we actually had someone do a keg stand for a long time, and when they flipped them back over, they fell and hit their head on the damn concrete and busted it wide open. And I'm like, I'm on the microphone. I'm like going, holy shit, we'll be right back. We had to call paramedics. They shut us down. It was a whole deal. So this is kind of one of those things. They're like going, yeah, we'll just have a taco eating contest. Here's more details on what actually happened during the baseball game. Oops. Let's take you off mute.
Eating competition during a Fresno Grizzlies game is now suing the organizers. Authorities say 41-year-old Dana Hutchings died after choking during the competition in August of 2019. His death now the center of a lawsuit. Our Kirsten Mitchell brings us the details.
People say that all the time. Well, he knew what he was getting into. Well, clearly he didn't.
Attorney Martine Telesnik represents 18-year-old Marshall Hutchings, the son of Dana Hutchings.
They're just advising that EMT is with the patient.
The man who died after choking on tacos during an amateur...
And I hate to bring this up. If you're watching the video, he looks Spanish. He looks Latin descent. Taco? Choke on him? Come on.
Taco eating contest organized by the Fresno Grizzlies in August of 2019. Their owners, Fresno Sports and Events, now the subject of a wrongful death lawsuit. It alleges Fresno Sports and Events did not possess the competence and or experience to safely carry out an eating competition of this nature and did not secure a medical response team that could have identified a medical emergency promptly and initiated life-saving procedures that could have saved Dana Hutchings' life. It also claims the organizers didn't fully disclose the risks of their taco eating contest. Therefore, Hutchings didn't understand the risk he was accepting.
And if you just don't know all of the pitfalls, how can you actually be consenting and participating freely and voluntarily? I think that that's a risk that unfortunately resulted in major loss to Mark.
All right, so hold on. So you don't know the risk of eating a taco. All right, so let's backtrack a little bit. I feel sorry for Dana and his life and stuff. We've all had tacos before, okay? We all have had tacos before. There's maybe a small majority of people that have not. Those people don't enter taco eating contests. You know why? Because they don't know what a taco is. And they won't eat them because they won't know what it is. So for saying that he didn't know that, he knew. It's a freaking taco. He literally knew. I hate to use that term. He knew what he was getting into. It was a contest. You have to be careful. Hey, I don't want to enter a track meet. You know why? Because I might fall on the ground and die. Okay? I know I can run. I can't run as much to win something, but I can run. So I'm not going to enter something that I know that I might die. So this guy entered a taco eating contest thinking, I can eat a taco. I know how to eat a taco and I can digest it and move on. Maybe he got excited. Maybe he had too many beers at the game. Who knows? But they're following through. The main thing was that they messed up and they didn't have anyone there to help him. So they didn't make preventative measures. So that's the only thing that's going to downfall what's going to happen to the Fresno baseball team. I hope everything turns out all right, and I feel for the family as well. All right, when we come back, Cinnamon toast. I told you the whole shrimp tails and the cinnamon toast. Well, guess what? Cheetos. There's something happened to the Cheetos. I know it's your favorite. If it's your favorite little snack, something happened with Cheetos. And a little 9-year-old boy, I think he was 9 years old. I have to read the article again one more time. Found something in his bag of Cheetos. And we'll talk about that when we get back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And make sure you follow all of our video feeds. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on Deacon Live. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video so you can see the video here in the studio, and you can see all the articles and stuff on my screen as we talk about them here in the studio. And also fill out the form for a little free swag. If you want some free stuff delivered out to you, and we got some stickers and stuff, so fill out that. I'm not going to do anything. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your email address. I've got enough shit to do. I got 20-some-odd acres. I ain't got time to sit here and give you hell. You can give me hell. You can also send us pictures here at any time. Email me at deacon@prophetradio.com with your pictures and stuff. And there's a place for that on the radio station website as well. Now, someone else that's giving away free stuff. Now, I was born and raised in Orlando. For native Floridian, which is rare. And we now live just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. That's where we broadcast from. But Orlando themselves, I know that it gets hot in Orlando. It gets hot in Florida. And one of the things that you can do is when you have a house, you want to have some shade. Shade is a high priority real estate in itself. Orlando now is giving away free trees to help you lower your energy bill. The city of Orlando is offering free trees to residents as part of their Energy Saving Trees program, supported by OUC, Orlando Utilities Commission, Florida Forest Services, and Arbor Day Foundations. Residents are able to get one of the following trees in their yard. You can get a crepe myrtle, a Dahoon holly, a sweet bay magnolia, or a tulip poplar. By strategically adding these 3 or 4 mature shade trees to your yard, you can save up to 30% on your summer cooling costs. Believe me, the people that live in Florida know as soon as we hit, April, May, as soon as right after Easter, that power bill starts creeping up. So there's a link. Hold on, let me write this down. Free trees. I got to put the link. And I'll put the link on the Deacon Live section over on Prophet Radio. So make sure you go over there and click on that. See if you qualify for it. You just fill out a little form and stuff, and you get free trees. Now, something that this boy right here, bought and got for free and didn't expect it. Step aside, Cinnamon Toast Crunch with your shrimp tails. Flamin' Hot Cheetos has raised the bar as far as finding stuff in your food. A father of Montana's claiming. All right, bear with me, because in Montana there's a native tribe out there, American native tribe out there. The gentleman's name is Bo Hunt Weasel of Elmo, Montana, tells TMZ that he bought a bag of chips on Saturday at a local convenience store, and his 6-year-old son broke it open on the Easter Sunday. The cliches are horrible, so I'm going to try to skip over them. For a little spicy chow down. We were told that the boy found a bullet in the bottom of the bag after devouring all the chips. The bullet appears to have the red hot Cheetos coating all over it. Bao scoffs at the doubters and says that the bullet didn't just drop out of the sky into the bag. Now, hold on, because we know that when bullets go up, where do they go? They have to come back down. Bao also said they don't even get him started about with this being made up. Bao says that he reached out to Frito-Lay on Facebook and also fired off an email. He claims that it wasn't long before the company rep reached out to him with a specialist who told Bao that they're taking matters seriously. Bao said Frito-Lay is sending him a kit for some sort of testing. Bao said he's not looking for compensation, He just wants Frito-Lay to take a hard look at this thing that doesn't really happen. Now, hold on one sec. So think about it this way. How could a bullet get into a bag of Cheetos? All right? So let's say, hear me out, conspiracy theory, I know that living or working in downtown Charlotte, the west side of downtown Charlotte is prone to, let's say, 4th of July, New Year's Eve, people fire their guns in the air, all right? So the building I was working at, or working in, had a it's a thick rubber roof on top. So bullets would come down and get lodged in that roof, and we would find leaks in the building. So we go up there and look for a bullet, and sure enough, here's a bullet. So with that being said, let's say the Cheeto guy is unloading his truck, right? And he's putting all the Cheetos and stuff, and you've heard stories about the bullet coming up, many stories, and hitting someone in the chest, hitting someone, coming down and hitting someone in the chest, hitting someone in the head, hitting someone wherever, right? So let's say this guy is unloading the Cheetos off his truck, and he's walking into the store. You see him with the little dolly and the whole thing of like boxes of product and stuff on their dolly. And let's say, just so happens 30 seconds ago, 45 seconds ago, a mile away, someone fires a gun. Bullet goes up, it's got to come down. Let's say the guy, as he's pushing the cart into the store, goes through the box and ends up in the bag of Cheetos. Now, it's shaking around and rattling around. Of course, the heaviest thing goes to the bottom of the bag. So let's say the father buys this bag, not paying any attention to it, throws it up on the counter, pays for it, gives it to his son on Easter. His son opens it up, not thinking anything. I mean, a bullet hole itself, the entry is smaller than, half of a dime, if it's, 22 or whatever like that. I mean, it's small. So the kid's eating the thing, and all of a sudden he gets to the bottom. Of course, the heaviest thing drops to the bottom. That's my theory. That's what happened. Someone fired a gun in the air, and it came down. That's my theory. So I'd like to hear your theories, and the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com. There's a little blue bar at the very bottom right-hand side of the website. It says Be Heard. Click on that. Opens up a microphone, and you can give me your opinion or your theories of how this bullet got into the Frito-Lay bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos. It could have been anything. It could have been any bag of Frito-Lay. It just happened to land in this one bag. So click on the Be Heard section. Opens up a little microphone on your thing. You speak right into it, and it sends it right here to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Now, I do have an update for you. Tiger was in an car accident. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, 1 out of 3 people who have actually contracted COVID-19 and survived have gone crazy. And there are studies that have shown that, and we'll dive into that here when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want some free swag? Of course you do. Everyone wants something for free, don't we all, right? And then the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on the free swag section, fill out the little form there, pick out what you want, and we'll send it right to your door. Now, unfortunately, all of our listeners overseas, over in India, over in Ireland, over in Poland, some of our listeners over in Australia, it might take a while for it to get there. I apologize for everyone here in the continental United States. We'll get it out to you as soon as possible. So bear with us. I'm a one-man show here. Now, speaking of a one-man show, Tiger Woods, he was in a very horrible car accident. Everyone freaked out, and everyone was like, "Oh, Tiger Woods, he's on the pills again. He's on something again," and ran his car right into a ditch, flipped over several times. He couldn't get out of his car and stuff. So, as of today, they have taken the black box out of his car, which I didn't know. I know to a certain point that a black box existed, but they actually got into the black box to figure out what he was doing and what led to his actual car accident. Blamed on speed, he hit a tree at 75 miles an hour is what it says. Tiger Woods just spoke about the crash, shouting at the first responders that treated him, and then thanking their fans for support. Tiger Woods' car crash was caused by excessive speed, but there's more to the story that we may never know. L.A. County Sheriff's Department released findings in their investigation this Wednesday morning. Tiger was speeding when he lost control of his SUV that caused the accident was squarely only on speed, is what caused it. The SUV's black box showing Tiger actually accelerated at the time of the crash. We're also told that Tiger lost control of the SUV, actually gained speed right before he fell off the So he must have panicked and hit the gas and went on. There's more. Law enforcement says they did not get a warrant to check Tiger Woods' cell phone to determine if he was calling or texting at the time of the crash. The sources say the department did not have probable cause to get a warrant for the cell phone records, although it is often done to investigate accidents and stuff. So here they said that excessive speed, he was doing 85 and a 45, and I guess didn't realize that there was a turn coming up. Hey, watch out, there's a left turn coming up. You might want to slow down a little bit. And they tested his body and stuff, and he wasn't, on alcohol. He wasn't on any pills or anything like that. So they're clearing him. They just want to figure out why he just kind of ran off the road. He wasn't paying attention. I know he was texting. He was texting someone or talking to someone. He was texting someone. That's the only reason I can think of, legit reason, that he would run off the road and not see the 45-degree angle coming up at him at 85 miles an hour on a 45. Now, something else that people didn't see coming at them, this woman in L.A., this is a hoot. People are going crazy out there. An L.A. driver points a gun out the window and says, does anyone want to die now? Anybody? Anybody? And she's asking questions like, hey. And this is in broad daylight. It's caught on video. And the way you see this video is go over to prophetradio.com, click on DeaconLive, and for every podcast we do, we have a matching video at the same time. A woman waiting to merge into a busy LA section lost her patience in a hurry, and she pointed a gun out the window, threatening to kill people, all caught on tape, and then fired the gun. Check out this unreal, surreal scene that went down yesterday, Tuesday, when this woman appeared to be held up at a stop sign and was told she was over on Fairfax Avenue and Olympic Boulevard. This happened about 5:30 on Tuesday afternoon. So here's the video.
Homeowners, this incredible tip is just for you. If you owe less than $331.
So here's the video. I'm going to blow it up for you so you can see. She's driving looks like a BMW SUV. She's got a sunroof. She's got a window down. Looks like she's got like a little 38, and she's loading it. As she's sitting here in this video, she's putting the bullets into the barrel.
They just told y'all this days ago.
So
anybody want to die now?
So she's got the gun pointed out the window. And I can't tell if it's a white woman or a black woman, but it's a very nice car. I can say that. That's probably an $80,000 car, and she's got this revolver, and she's pointing it out the window.
Anybody? Because I got the, hey, you want to die now?
And she's pointing the gun at cars as they're going by in front of her, so she's following them, like she's sighting them up and following them.
Get out my way.
There she goes. She shot it right out the sunroof. Here, I'll play it again.
Get out my way.
Move. Now she's taking her left hand and doing the two fingers and the thumb up like a gun, like she's gangster, hanging it out the window.
Y'all crazy. The cow jumped.
Then she goes, y'all crazy. Hold on. And then listen to what she says here.
Over the moon. I'm going to kill somebody in the street. The cow jumped over the moon.
Cow jumped over the moon.
The cow, I did it. Go check it. Y'all still hacking my phone. Still. I told them
another car
crazy.
rolled up next to her, and she's yelling at that car.
We're supposed to stop. Fuck you, Hyundai. My two classic ladies.
Fuck you, Hyundai.
I said it a long time ago. I told them y'all psychotic. I literally said the cow jumped over the moon, Cuba.
Cow jumped over the moon. I told him several times. She's got the gun out again. I want to go that way. She's holding the gun out the sunroof.
Oh my God.
That's it. She
They just passed her, and she just left.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
She just drove away. They drove right by him. Right by her. So there you go. She's got her gun on. She's crazy. She's gone damn crazy. Now, I don't want to say I don't blame her, but there are studies that have shown that some people are getting crazy. You ready for this? Hold on tight. So I started the program with going to, I went to the doctor's office and the doctor said, am I going to get the COVID shot? I'm killing grandma. I haven't got, I have personally have not had the COVID virus or anything like that. But studies now have shown that 1 out of 3 people who actually had the COVID-19 virus suffers from neurological and mental disorders. So maybe that's what the girl who was trapped in or trying to get out in traffic, maybe she had this. 1 out of 3 COVID-19 survivors have suffered neurological psychiatric disorder within 6 months of the infection with the virus. The results were based on, now you say, they probably only studied 230,000 people they've studied. The study is published in the Lancet Psychiatric Journal, analyzed data from electronic health records of 236,000 people, and a base that has over 81 million people. Anyway, so the group that was compared to 105,000 patients diagnosed with influenza, 236 patients diagnosed with respiratory tract infection included influenza. Overall, estimates people who have been infected with a neurological or mental health disorder following a COVID-19 was up to 34%. The study, led by researchers of the University of Oxford, found that when looking at 14 neurological and mental health disorders, for 13% of these people, this was a first time of having neurological or psychiatric diagnosis. Most common diagnosis after the coronavirus was anxiety disorders, mood disorders at 14%, substance misabuse disorders at 7%, and insomnia at 5%. So after taking this all into account, the underlying health characteristics such as age, sex, ethnicity, race, existing conditions, overall, a 44% risk of neurological and mental health disorders after COVID-19 were higher than after the flu. 16% greater risk after COVID-19 with respiratory tract infection. So here we go. Since the COVID-19 emerged in China in late 2001, 132 million people have been infected, reported 2.8 million deaths, and so on and so forth. So what they're saying is 1 out of 3 people, they're seeing a higher rate of craziness, mental disorders, anxiety disorders, mood disorders, substance abuse, and insomnia. For those of you that had survived or gotten over the COVID-19. Now, again, I'd like to hear from you guys as well. And the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com, click on Be Heard. Tell us if you've had any, at least insomnia. I know my wife has insomnia all the time, but she hasn't had the COVID-19. So tell us your experience if you've had COVID-19 and you've come out of it on the positive side. I'd like to hear from you, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Go to prophetradio.com, click on Be Heard. All right, when we come back, we'll dive into the light and fluffy and then let you guys get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on social contacts, and you can find all the links that links us to you and you to us, and we can all be friends at the end of this tunnel. Now, when I say the end of this tunnel, somebody save me. The universal sign for help save us is SOS, right? You've seen it a million times. You've seen it like someone stranded on islands. They've been, cartoonish many times. A lot of people think that SOS stands for save our ship. And then a lot of other people have taken that into account and translated what it is. The only reason why those three little dashes or three little dots and three little dashes exist is because that's the quickest way to send 3 letters to someone really quick and have it stand out. When I say stand out, we're talking about Morse code. Now, Morse code, if you're not familiar with Morse code, in 1905, hold on, let me pull the article so everyone can see what we're doing. SOS has been used as emergency code since 1905, but what does SOS actually mean? The answer means absolutely nothing. The reason why it comes out all the time is because it actually helps separate two types of news or phrases when you're actually reading it. For example, you've got all these dots and dots and dashes, and then all of a sudden you see 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots. That means it's separating everything on the Morse code as you're reading it. So the 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots, at the time when international ships increasingly filled the seas, a Morse code was the only instantaneous way to communicate between them. The vessels needed a quick, unmistakable way to signal that trouble was afoot. At first, different nations used different codes. Britain, for example, used CQD as the Titanic was sinking in April of 1912 and broadcast CQD and also SOS. The resulting confusion helps take CQD out of the whole situation, so they didn't do CQD anywhere. The sequence of triple dots and dashes proposed by the German government became soon an international favorite, and it was simple, and everyone knew that when you saw the 3 dots and 3 dashes and 3 dots again, that means the next message coming across was very, very important. So it's not necessarily save our ship and not necessarily anything. It was just kind of like an earmark saying, hey, the next thing that you're going to hear is help, save, important message coming through. So SOS, 3 dots, 3 dashes, if you didn't know that, Morse code, that's the reason why it's out there. Just for you guys to know. I know it's one little tidbit. Hopefully you learn stuff and take away stuff from here at the Deacon Live podcast. Now, one thing, speaking of save our ship or help us out, Shaquille O'Neal, you ever heard of that guy? He was in a Zayles jewelry store, sees a guy trying to pay off his engagement ring to his wife, or before his wife. He's like, how much do I owe on the engagement ring? Shaq comes over and literally SOS's the day, saves his ship. A generous act caught on video. Shaquille O'Neal pays for a gentleman trying to pay off his ring that he had on like layaway or something like that. Here's the actual story from Shaquille O'Neal. And the way you see this is go to profitradio.com. Click on Deacon Live, and for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. So here's the actual video.
Look at this. Shaq randomly paid for a young man's engagement ring?
You know what happened yesterday?
When did this happen?
This happened yesterday. So I was in Zayles looking for some loop earrings. And I seen the guy.
With the blue shirt on?
Yeah.
You went to the mall and went to Zayles?
Wait, what?
See, now they're making fun of him. They don't know that Shaquille O'Neal's got a jewelry deal with Zayles. And they're making, oh man, you make all this money, you go to Zayles, and they're like downplaying Zayles. And Shaquille shuts him up real quick. Watch this.
You told me to go to Piedmont Park. You're going to Zayles?
First of all, I have a jewelry line at Zayles, first of all.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, do you have a jewelry line at Zayles? Do you?
And jewelry.
Well, everything. So anyway, I went in there to get some loop earrings. And I seen the guy come in. He was just so shy. He was saying, hey, how much do I owe to pay off my ring? It was just, and I was like, my man, how much is the ring? And I'm not going to say the amount, but it's not enough to me. But I just, and this is something that I do every day. The other day, me and my mom went furniture shopping, and this lady, she had a autistic daughter. And, she was also, looking to pay for some furniture. And I just took care of it. So I'm into making people happy. So whenever I leave the house, I just try to do a good deed. Like, I didn't mean for that to get out because I don't do it for that, but like the guy just came in and, he was a young kid. He's a hard-working guy. He's like, hey, man, I can come back next month and the next, like, layaway. Like, he put some money down, but I was like, you know what? Tell your girlfriend I got to take care of it. At first, he didn't want to take it. He's like, man, I can't do that. I said, don't worry about it. I do it all the time. So I'm just trying to make people smile. That's all.
There you go. And when he was living in Orlando, when he was part of the Magic, look up. You want to see some funny pictures of all the stuff that Shaq has done? Look up Shaq-a-Bunny. He's done a lot with the community, and you know, a lot of people, a lot of sports athletes and stuff get a bad rap. They get a real bad rap as far as, you know, doing stuff for the community. And he just stepped up and said, "Hey, look, man. Hey, how much was the ring? All right, well, I'll take care of it, man. You're in my store. You're being my friend. It's no different than a restaurant owner going, oh, you know, Mr. Deacon, come sit down, and I'll comp you." I don't know if that's the same thing, but he's doing good, and he didn't mean for the video to get out. It looks like it was shot like third party, that Shaq was in there, and good cause. It's a feel-good story. All right, before I let you go, I got one more feel-good story for you, and then we'll wrap up the show. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, all the musical artists that you hear on Deacon Live, they're all unsigned artists. Make sure you go over to prophetradio.com and support them as well. A lot of great artists that show up here on the Deacon Live podcast. We appreciate all of them. And also check out our sponsors as well on the Prophet Radio website as well. Now, a teenager boy, you guys ever heard of TikTok? Of course you have. If you haven't heard of TikTok, you're probably, I don't know, you don't have the internet or something like that. A teenager saves a boy's life from 800 miles away after actually witnessing the crash on Tik TOk live stream. Trent Jared, age 12, was riding his quad bike in West Virginia and is live streaming it on TikTok, while a 13-year-old boy, Caden Connor, who follows Jarrett on a social media app based on their shared interests, hunting, fishing, and four-wheeling, was watching. He was watching the live stream from Jarrett in his hometown of New Hampshire, and he saw Jarrett crash. Connor, C-O-T-N-O-I-R, Connor witnessed the screen go blank, and he could hear shouting. Jarrett, who was trapped under the quad bike, was shouting his grandparents' phone number, and that was all that he could remember when it came down to this situation. Quick thinking, Connor wrote down the number and had his parents alert Jarrett's grandparents to the accident. Jarrett was stuck underneath the vehicle for about 20 minutes but thanks to Connor's, it's a weird name, Connor? I don't know how to pronounce that. His phone call, Jarrett's parents found him. The boy suffered minor cuts and bruises, and Connor's stepfather, Matt Curry, said he did what he was supposed to do and got the right people involved, and it worked out great. It was an Easter miracle. Imagine that. You're sitting there going, you know, watching your favorite whatever TikTok person, and all of a sudden they end up flipping over or something happens to them. You're like going, holy shit. And, you know, I don't know if you can see how many people are watching you and stuff, but this guy took it upon himself. The kid flipped over for one and started screaming out his parents' number, 943-442, whatever the number is, and the boy's writing it, call my grandparents, call. And the kid writes it down, and the kid calls the grandparents and say, hey, you don't know me. I'd like to sell you car insurance. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you don't know me. Jarrett's out in the field. The four-wheeler flipped over on him. Oh, my Lord. We got to get him out there. And they go out there and rush. And sure enough, they found him. And they actually did meet up later on a Zoom call. And Jarrett thanked them for saving his life. How about that? It's weird how far away we can all be connected with this whole internet thing. All right. From the file of world records that we didn't know existed, a new world record for the longest melody played by a model train. Now, think to yourself, how do you even combine those two together? Well, let me tell you. While his museum was closed during the COVID-19, a model train enthusiast in Hamburg, Germany, used nearly 3,000 glasses to set a new world record for the longest melody played by a model train. Now you ask yourself, well, how does that happen? You ever filled up like just a wine glass with something and you kind of clink the side and it has a note like ding, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong. he has a model train set up already. You know, it's miles and miles and miles. If you ever seen the like a big warehouse full of model trains that go around and stuff, it's huge. So what he's done on the track is put all these glasses half filled with different solutions, whether it be vinegar, whether it be water, whatever it is. And the train has all these little soft, if you've seen the guy who plays like the big drums, it's got the big fuzzy, or like marshmallow looking head on the drumstick. And the train is going by and clicking all these glasses or bumping into the glasses as it runs in this path. And you can see this video. Go to ProfitRadio.com, click on DeaconLive, and for every video, every podcast we do, we have a matching video, and you can see this. Now listen, this train's going, and it's got all the little bumper strikes on it, and it's striking all the glasses. I don't know what the song is, but it's kind of interesting. So there's probably 4 things on the train that's striking the glasses. And this place is huge. It's probably 5,000 square feet of nothing but trains or train tracks. And this thing's going by and striking all the glasses. And they're different levels. Some are high, some are low. And not a single one spilled. All right, on that note, I'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening to us, downloading us, sharing us, and doing all the stuff that links us to you and you to us. On behalf of all of our sponsors out there, all our musical artists and guests as well, we appreciate each and every one of you. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.